Hello, my name is Enrica Eshkibok. Um, I'm just setting this video because there's an election going on in this country, and I see a lot of the leaders out there, and I want to see our leadership in this country actually make a change. And I think there needs to be a systematic shift going on in this nation. um I'm hoping that those of you watching this video will share it. I'm not really sure how this is going to happen with this, but I'm just going to trust creators leading. And I think that Indigenous people are the first people in this nation, and Indigenous peoples are the rightful landowners in this nation. Indigenous people should be playing the leading role in our government in Canada. There's an infrastructure in place already. There's an election going on already. And, so for so long, the leaders in our nation lie and corrupt. Actually, that's really a lot of how this nation has been founded, on lies. How the Queen of England dealt with Indigenous people was criminal and unethical, according to today's standards. If she was to be judged by today's standards, this would be deemed unlawful. So I think as Indigenous people, we should be voting for Indigenous people that we nominate in our communities across the nation, in municipalities, in urban areas, in rural and urban municipalities. There's an infrastructure already placed, and on the reserves. And we have elected leaders in our chief and councils, and in the ridings. There should be an Indigenous party campaigning alongside the colonial government that's in place right now. Democracy is something that came from the Iroquois Confederacy and the Three Fires Confederacy. It is something, the spirit of democracy, the Indigenous people of this continent, and this country and this continent, the Americas, have a deeper understanding of how this democracy is supposed to work. Everybody is supposed to have a say. So having something like a youth council across Canada also, so that our youth have a lot of wonderful, amazing ideas, innovations that can change and save our planet from extinction. Like this Greta Thunberg, okay, Autumn Pelche, and there are many others out there that are, that are taking a stand and making a stand. This is the beginning of the millennial kingdom that's talked about in the Bible. I know you can say, yeah, whatever, but what are we called today? What is this generation called? The millennials, right? We are called the millennials. This is the new generation, the millennial kingdom, where we're supposed to be able to, where our youth will come up and rise up. And there's going to be there is an explosion of information and technology and knowledge and awareness and enlightenment in the consciousness of our youth, knowing that they can make a change. Well, right now we have an opportunity right now here as the elections happening here in Canada as Indigenous people to come up and step up and rise up as leaders. Nominate a leader in your area to run right now for the Indigenous parties of Canada, to represent the Indigenous peoples, because we should be leading our government. The Indigenous peoples are the rightful landowners here. The people, the Queen and the government and all that kind of stuff haven't been honoring the land claims. If we looked at things by how they do their standards in their banking system, they're breaking their laws. They're breaking their own laws dealing with the Indigenous people. I suggest that after this video is done, that you share it to see it get out there. Talk about this. Get it done. Like this is what needs to happen. Like our government, yes, has apologized, but it's time to put action to that apology. They want to reconcile the relationship with Indigenous people. They really want to. That's what they say. Let it not be lip service, and do it. Invite Indigenous people in the government like they should be. Let them be ruling in this nation like they should be. Invite them to make policies and legislation in this country. The Indian Affairs, that legislation, like really, like this, the $4, $5 of treaty money, that's laughable. For what? Everybody living. We're not saying kick everybody out of this country. Not at all. We want to be able to work together in prosperity and health. Like that's what's important here. Stopping our planet. Like it's so easy. There's such a simple solution. We could install solar panels on every home in this country. Solar panel, hydrothermal technology, all this with the induction, like with an induction battery, so that all homes and families are off the power grid, moving away from fossil fuels and dangerous nuclear technology. That is just one. Also, why does it cost almost $3,000 to $5,000 for our Indigenous people to travel in their own province, on their own land? Like, there should be a national transit system built, owned, and operated by the Indigenous people of Canada with super speed trains. There's a technology out there. People, engineers, we can invest in this opportunity to have a speed rail across this country, going across, and affordable planes. Stop letting these oppressors isolate us and keep us oppressed and separated, and let's join and make this. And there's no reason for every single citizen, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, to be able to travel within their own nation without having it to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Really. Like this is, you want to say pay money back into the taxpayers' profit? Well, then here's what we do. I don't think Indigenous people really would have a problem paying taxes if we saw where that tax money was going, and if we had a say in where it was going and what it was doing and how it is, because this is what is going to heal our nation. Yes, you apologized. Well, you know what? A real apology. And you want to reconcile. The real reconciliation is making it right. Admitting that you've been oppressing, killing, murdering the first peoples here. We were here first. A long time ago, Vikings came here, but they couldn't hack it. They left. They're gone. We stayed here. We have a right and a claim to this land. And so what? So other people come over here, and they come over here to murder us, kill us, destroy us, to come and have this beautiful land and resources? No, not anymore. Indigenous people everywhere need to start now to take a stand and take ownership of our government, of our nations. Mexican Indigenous people, American Indigenous people, Canadian Indigenous people. Who's Trump? Really? You know, he's elected, but we are the people. This is the first people. These governments need to recognize that we are the rightful landowners, and they need to involve us in governance for real. Take us seriously invite us. Okay? The national transit system is just one thing. Also, why is there all kinds of garbage and stuff like that in the ocean? It's because we allow for corporations to throw garbage in the oceans. They're not getting rid of it. They take all this garbage, right? We have electronic companies and manufacturers that just keep manufacturing new ideas, new technologies, all of this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, they won't take our old technology to replace it for the new ones and surround these computers and devices with good secure cases so that we have to keep buying more so they can have more money and keep polluting the environment even more. So, are we going to stand for this? Are we going to wake up? Are we gonna take a stand for our lands, our nation, our world, our planet? This needs to happen. I am Enrica Eshkibok. My name means, Enrica means woman who rules. Okay? And an Eshkibok means green leaf. My name means woman who rules with a green leaf. And a leaf signifies health and healing. Okay? I've gone through a lot. I've been through a lot. I've experienced a lot of what goes on in this country. I've seen a lot of what goes on in this country. I know the fly-in reserves and the northern and isolated communities, they're isolated. There's a lot of sickness and disease because of the isolation. Where else are you going to find somebody to partner up with but your cousin, because you can't go anywhere? So that invites a lot of disease. There needs to be more. They need to be able to leave freely. People need to be able to travel across this country. That is a big, huge thing, and recognizing Indigenous people. Also, another thing is making recreation, sports, arts, these kinds of things affordable to everyone. Okay? So that, if our kids are busy doing things, why not create the world's best athletes? When we're competing in the Olympics, Canada should be number 1 up there. Like, honestly, we have so many wonderful athletes, but because they can't afford to get into these gymnastics programs and dance programs and art programs and writing programs and school, like, really, this needs to change. This needs to change. Really, people. We need to wake up. Like, I am Enrica Eshkibok. Like, I don't know. You don't know who I am. Like, I've made mistakes. I've made poor choices. I've made poor choices as a mom, as a woman, as a youth, and you know what? I've done things. But you know what? My past is my past, and I've learned so much from it. And you know what? It was meant to destroy me and take me down, but you know what? It has given me a voice. I am strong. I've been through a lot. I'm resilient, and I'm just one of many Indigenous women and men and children and people all over the world, Indigenous to their areas, that are strong, resilient, smart, brilliant, amazing, beautiful people, because they were created by an amazing, beautiful God. And anybody who says there is no God is silly, because you know what? Anybody who wants to deny that the Bible, that the Bible is not real, is not truth, you know what? Go research it. Go look it up. and see the evidence, the archaeological evidence, the historical evidence, the documents, the history, everything that is in it is true. And you can choose to believe it, or you can choose not to. You know what? That's your choice. But I'm just going to say that's only just a tiny little bit. I just think that what really needs to happen is that people need to recognize and take ownership of their choices and their actions and the things they are doing. Okay? We need to be able to take a stand. You know, these corporations and companies, like we're trying to go to Walmart to shop and they don't want to give tax exempt. All of a sudden, these things go down. We can't even get tax exempt. Why do we have tax exempt? It's only a tiny little thing. Because you know what? Everybody gets to live on this land. So we can have a little bit of a tax break, a tiny bit. That doesn't really affect anything. Okay, and the $4 treaty money that we get every year, $4 a year, while corporations, companies, governments are starving and raping and poisoning this land. You know, it says there's a scripture in the Word that says, you know, if you repent and if you turn your hearts over to God and repent with all your heart, that He will heal your heart and your land. Well, that's what needs to go on here. This needs to be the real this is the millennial kingdom coming in a rising right now. Are we going to be foolish? We can have one way this can go. We can be foolish or we can be wise. We can make wise choices or foolish choices. Foolish choices based on what? Greed, money, avarice, power? What about peace, love, wisdom, truth, health? That's what matters. That's what is going to sustain our earth. If we truly recognize and repent, there's no reason for little tiny wind turbines and solar panels to be stuck on every house on this entire world. Like the sun and the wind are free. That's free energy right there, available to us. Why not use it? And another thing, another thing that I really bother me, really gets my goat, okay? Even though I don't have any goats, but if I was to have one, this would really get it, I'm telling you. Because I think that, this racism, this division, this stuff, these lies that are perpetrated and propagated to keep us divided from each other has got to stop. Because we are one human race. It is stupid to be prejudiced against somebody because their eyes look different or because their skin is different. You know what? God has infinite possibilities, and He created an infinite humanity to exist. He has it because He is an infinite God. He pulled us out of infinity to create us. How can we deny that there is a creator God when everything around us shows us that He exists? Everything can come out of nothing. This is not by chance. Like if evolution was real, why is there still apes? Why is there still gorillas? Because we are apes. Why is there still gorillas and chimpanzees and us? And why is there different kinds of horses and all kinds of different bugs and all the different kinds of snakes and all this kind of stuff? Why is there still them? Why didn't they evolve? Why aren't they bipedal? Why don't they have opposable thumbs, forward-facing eyes so that they can see? Like, why? Because God didn't design them that way. God designed them, yes, we can adapt. we can grow our consciousness, right? A long time ago, we all spoke one language all over the world, and then God divided that language. And that's why right now everybody is starting to speak one language again. A long time ago, he divided the language so that because he saw the potential in us human beings for greatness. He knew it, but we weren't ready then. We weren't mature enough. We didn't have an understanding. Right now, there's right now we're in an explosion of information and knowledge and technology, and we have access to it. We have the ability to be able to research and find things and find how life works and genetics works and all these things that God designed, that God created. We're able to get a better understanding. Even a lot of the greatest scientists and minds, anybody who's ever tried to disprove the Bible and disprove Jesus lived and resurrected ends up why do they end up always turning to Jesus and becoming believers? Because they cannot deny the evidence. The evidence is there. The archaeological evidence that has happened, that Rahab, the walls of Jericho, that one wall where Rahab was there, that is still standing there. The village of them that are still there. The kingdom fell down. Yeah, because people don't want to admit their mistake, that they got the timelines wrong, they got the dates wrong, because they don't want to admit that they made a mistake. That's the biggest problem right now in the world. Huge problem is that people do not want to take responsibility or admit that they may have been wrong. I make mistakes. And you know what? I always pray and ask that God will help me. Ask forgiveness when I make mistakes right away. Anybody who knows me that when I'm wrong, I apologize. Yeah, anybody who knows me knows that when I know that I'm wrong, I apologize. At first I may get upset and be all dramatic and all this kind of stuff, but you know what? When I know I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not perfect, and I don't pretend to be perfect. And you know what, and because nobody's perfect, there is only one who was, and every knee is going to bow to his name one day. And right now, are you going to be ignorant fool? Or are you going to be wise and awake and knowledgeable? Are you going to be wise and living in the light? My first name is Diana D. Enrica. I was called Deranger for a long time, and one of my last name, and my father's last name is Caboni. I was called Caboni, and I was also, and right now, my last name's Eshkibok, and Diana means goddess of the moon. What is the moon? It's the light in the darkness. It's like, well, right now, and D means divine. Set apart. Someone who's set apart. My whole life, I never fit in. I was bullied. I never fit in with my family. I've always felt like I was outside. Everywhere I went, when I was in college, when I was in university, when I traveled, when I was in high school, when I was in a church, when I was working for Daystar, when I was living in Wiki, when I was traveling across and hitchhiking across Canada, when I lived in Toronto, no matter where I went, I never fit in. And it's because I'm not supposed to. My name means set apart. And I am going to be set apart. And I am going to be that goddess of the moon, that light in the darkness. Right now we're living in dark, perilous times, and here I am going to shine my light, going to shine a little bit of the knowledge and the wisdom and my experiences with you, hoping that, we can make a change in this nation, because this really needs to start happening now. Be brave enough to share this. Be brave enough to speak out. Be brave enough. You know what? Maybe put my name on that ballot. And maybe, come behind me. I don't know. That's just the thought. My name's Enrica Eshkibok, and that means woman who rules with the green leaf. I was called by my name. God spoke my name and spoke all our names before we were even born. So he knew, okay? One thing that I'm called standing bear, grandmother's keeper. Cause I stand like a bear, like a mama bear. I'm right now standing like a mama bear and grandmother's keeper. When growing up, I always spent time with my elders. I always was sitting around talking with the elders, talking with the grandma, I would go and visit my grandma, go and sit with my aunties. They would go to prayer meetings, and I would go and sit there and be a part of all of that. And listen to them, telling their stories and telling this and telling that. They would say, go to bed, go. You don't need. And I wanted to hear what they had to say. I wanted to hear their stories. I wanted to hear their teachings. I wanted to hear their wisdom. Because I knew, like, my name as a little kid was grandmother's keeper. And how do you keep your grandmas? By hearing and listening to them and sharing what they taught you. It's like, well, my grandma, this autumn Pelche, that's what's going on with her. The grandmothers are there behind her, you know, showing her she's been taught and people have been teaching her, and she has strong people behind her, leadership like Norma. Oh man, I love this lady. She's so beautiful and strong, and she does so much, and she is a powerful warrior walking for the water. Like this is a woman that I get to call I don't know, I guess sister-in-law, or yeah, because our children are married. And you know what? Also, like, you know, Derange was one of my names. And Derange can mean deranged, crazy. And you know what? A lot of you who know me know that I'm a little quirky, crazy, and can be a little nuts. But you know what? Am I crazy enough right now to make this video and to take a stand and to call out people to take a stand? Well, maybe I am. And that's why I've been called that. Also, it also means disturb. That's what it means, disturb. Right now, what am I doing? I am disturbing the status quo. I am calling us out. We are leaders. Indigenous people are not weak. We are able, capable, intelligent people. Why do we have to let this school system define who we are? We have a world of knowledge and experience of surviving and resilience. So let's live. Let's do this. Let's wake up and rise up and be the leaders and take care of this country and be the stewards that Creator called us to be. Creator put that desire in us to take care of this land, to take care of this, to be leaders. He has us. We were here. We were brave enough to come to this continent. When we got off that turtle, we were brave enough to come over here. When we got off that ark, that turtle, after the flood, we came over here. Right? Anybody who wants to say that we didn't come, it is in our DNA. Right in your DNA that every single person on this entire planet, no matter color, race, or whatever, came from one woman and one man. That's in your DNA. And it only goes back so many generations. It doesn't go back, billions and billions of years. Okay? We don't know how long the first woman and man lived in perfect creation. We don't know how long they lived there. But we do know how long they lived after, when the curse began, when things started to get dirty, and when we started to think that we're better, right? And we started to think that we don't need God, that we can do it ourselves. That's what gets us into trouble, is when we don't look to Creator. Creator has a design. Creator has a design for everything. Okay? And what He's doing, His design and His plan for everything is perfect. It's perfect. He has a perfect plan. It was perfect in the garden, and he wants to bring it back there again. And he wants to use us to do it. He wants to use us to clean up this planet, to clean up our oceans, to be responsible for what we did. That's what he wants. He wants us to take responsibility for what we've been doing all this whole time. There's been an enemy working against us from the very, very beginning. And he doesn't like what's going on. He doesn't want us to wake up. He wants us to keep polluting and destroying Creator's work. He wants to keep destroying Creator's work because he hates it. You know, he was created. He wants to become like the one who created him. You know what? Who knows? Maybe one day he'll turn around. Maybe one day he'll see, but I know that Creator has a plan, and his plan's perfect. And his plan is not to destroy this earth. His plan is not for us to destroy this earth. His plan for us was for us to take care of this earth, to look after it, look after the animals, look after the thing. Because you know what? This is here for our future generations. We borrow this earth, this time here on our planet from the future. So Autumn says, we are the ancestors. Okay? We are the ancestors. So are we going to leave our legacy? Is it going to be a good legacy? Or are we going to die and no one's going to remember us and forget about it? Are we going to die? Because that's what's going to happen. You can't drink poisoned water. You can't grow food in ground, and you can't eat poison and still live. But you know what? God can help us. Creator can help us clean up this planet. He's giving us the ability and the know-how right now, the ability to do things, to make change, to create, to invent. There is so much innovation going on in this world right now. A lot of inventions and innovations. Let's let those inventions, innovations, let's Canada be a nation that brings healing to all the nation. There's a leaf on our flag for a reason. Okay? That red leaf on our flag signifies healing, is a symbol of healing. Okay? So let's be that healing nation. Let's start a precedence here and how we treat the peoples. Right? If we treat the first peoples here, if we repent and admit that we treated the people here wrong, you know what? God promises that he will heal our land. He will heal our hearts and he will heal our land if we repent. Right? And if because you know what, the Canadian national anthem, I want to stand for this Canadian national anthem. I don't. I go to my hockey games over here and I don't stand. And yeah, I kind of got into a couple of times about it and people saying whatever. And I said, I do not stand for lies, corruption, and deceit. Okay? Because right now, that's what the flag is hypocritical. Right? Here there's a piece of legislation that they're trying to push through here and push through that's forcing people, to deny their faith, to deny what they believe, what people believe. Okay. We religion and government, the government is supposed to protect belief. It's supposed to protect our freedom. It's supposed to protect our rights. Okay, well, we have a right to believe. We have a right to religion, okay? And you enforcing legislations so that these organizations and companies and stuff like that can access monies so that they can hire volunteers to do good work. Like, a lot of these organizations do good work, and you're gonna deny them money because you want to promote violence. Okay, because first, and another thing, because you know what? Yeah, abortion is terrible. It's horrible because you know what? I've had two. Okay, I've had two abortions. Okay, because I believed a lie. And you know what? And I'm ashamed. I was ashamed. But you know what? I know that I'm going to see them. I don't have to be ashamed. I had a hard time grieving my one stillborn son because I felt like I had no right to grieve him because I killed those other two babies. Well, you know what? They're in perfect health and peace. They didn't have to suffer here on this earth like the rest of us do right now. And you know what? I have hope in knowing that in a God who is so merciful and he forgives me because you know what? And I have faith in knowing that I'm going to see them again one day and I'm going to hug them and love them and I'm going to see them. That's what matters is love. What matters is the future. What matters what's going on, not what happened, not what I did, not all these things. What really matters is what's going on. Okay? Because yeah, I know I made that and I shouldn't have did that, but you know what? I did it. Okay. You can kill me now? All right? Okay, well then let's kill everybody because I make a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. We all make mistake. Jesus said, be the first one without sin, cast the first stone. Okay? All right, well, here I'm speaking the truth that we are all forgiven. You know, he came, lived, died. You want to deny him? Go ahead. He still came, lived, died. Okay? And the proof and the evidence and everything is out there. If you researched it and actually, if you wanted to really find the truth, you can find the truth. But you have to be willing to look past your closed eyes and you have to be willing to remove those you have to be willing to remove the scales from your eyes. And be willing to take the blinders off and be open to see the truth, right? That's what it is. Be open to see the truth. Remove the blinders. Take that veil off. Stop walking in darkness because that's what's going on here. Yeah, that's what's going on. And I know that a lot of the stuff or whatever that I've been talking about is a lot of to do with this Bible. Well, I hate to tell you. Well, actually, I'm glad to tell you that it's truth. And really, we could learn from what has happened and what happened. I am a modern day Moses to our people, waking us up from over 400 years of oppression, just like the Egyptians. Okay, I have a spirit of Job because I've been through so much in all my life, been through this and that, no matter what. Enemy has tried to kill me, destroy me, take me down this way and that way, every single way. Rollover accidents, right? Crashing into trees, falling off cliffs, getting beaten, left for dead, being raped and sexually exploited, all these things that have happened to me, being abused, being abused in a relationship, in an unhealthy relationship, all these things, I have experienced living and being and struggling as a single mom. Because I had the courage to escape a domestic violence situation because I wanted to move from domestic violence to domestic peace. Okay, because I don't want to live in violence, and neither should anybody else. We should want to live in peace. That's our nature. That's our nature to want peace. Why are we fighting our nature? I love you all. I love everybody. Even those that want to hurt me, call me down, curse me, do whatever, call me, say I'm stupid, say I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't care. I love you anyways. And I'm going to keep loving everybody. I'm not going to stop, people's hatred, people's ignorance, what people want to think about me, what people want to say about me to stop me from loving you. That's why I'm here speaking this truth, because I love you. And you want to know what? There's someone that loves you even more, way more than me. And he is the most awesome. He is the creator of everything in this universe. Everything. He created you. He called you by your name before you were born, just like me. He gave me my name. And my names are a prophecy, are chapters in my life that I've lived, right? So, like another one of my names is Kaboni. You know what that means? Smooth landing. Like a nice, beautiful field that you can land smoothly on. A nice, beautiful meadow. Nice, beautiful, peaceful meadow. Well, that's just some things that, I have to share at this moment. I have a lot more. And if you wanna hear more of my ideas for impacting and changing this nation, like this national transit system, it's viable, it's real, it's simple. It's something that Indigenous people can do, empowering us and allowing us to be prospering, allowing us to thrive and not just survive in our nation. Because this is our nation. This is our nation. This is our nation. So I really hope that that you'll share this, and that you'll save this video and share it and tell people about it, so that maybe Parliament, maybe if this gets heard, maybe if this message get out there, then maybe there can be some real changes, because these are real solutions, simple and easy to implement. A self-governing Indigenous people is easy solution. We already have all the systems here in place. We elect chiefs all over the reserves, okay? And the ones that, and we know what, we got to stop dividing our people by blood level and quantum level and whatever. Everybody in this nation should want to be Indigenous, right? If they want to call themselves Indigenous, let them call themselves Indigenous to this land. Let's stop being dividing, and let's work together in unity. Let's stop letting these corporations, these evil corporations and companies that are all about making billions of dollars at the expense of our health. The gold reserve? Like, really? This is these lands have been mined and are being mined. Well, you know what? Let's have real legislation, real policies in place. When we're extracting minerals, like, really, if this stuff, is filling up our landfill sites, and this technology and all these things are out there filling up our landfill sites, and plastics, obviously they don't degrade. Obviously they last a long time. So why are they still out there? Why aren't we recycling them and reusing them and using them to the point where it's no good anymore? And you know what? That's what needs to be happening, because we're this society that we lived in just encourages wastefulness. That is not how Indigenous people are. We would take only what we needed from our planet. Well, we can all have energy. We can all have more than enough to feed everybody here. There's more than enough for everybody to drink. There's more than enough, Okay? It's time for us to, you know what? Cars can have hydrothermic reactors, hydrothermic engines, okay, with solar powered induction battery, you know, that, and the solar power is built into the body frame of the car. Into the body frame of the car. Okay? Okay, my daughter wants the iPad. Give me 1 second here, sorry. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. So as I was saying about the recycling, okay, the recycling, that is so simple and easy. Like it's this stuff lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts. Why are we still throwing it out in garbage? You know, the stores should be taking this stuff and saying, "Oh, you have a bag of recycling. Oh, let's take it to the stores. Let's make shopping bags out of it so that we can have more shopping bags and stop charging people 5 cents for shopping bags that can be reused." If these stores just had a part that accepted recycling, and then we made them responsible for the stuff that they sell, that they sell us, so that they make us that, you know, that when we get it, we can return it to the store, and then that stuff that return gives us a credit for shopping in their store to buy products. Right? And then a lot of that stuff that's recycled and stuff like that, will make remaking these products remaking these products and making them more durable. That's another thing, making the products last, not making them so they break down. And you know, all cell phones and devices and stuff like that should automatically be sold with a good protective case and a screen protector, so that we're not walking around with 20,000 cell phones laying in landfill sites with battery technology that's poisoning our grounds. So, you know, these batteries then and stuff like that can be taken and recycled and reused to power solar power generators. We can have solar power generators. We can have hydrothermic generators. We can have small wind turbine generators, if these are all installed in every house. And that would alleviate almost all the power off the power grids. Public buildings had the same technology. You know what? It's simple. Are we going to do this? Are we brave enough to invest in these things? Right? Because as soon as you invest, the money's back right there in the people's pockets, and people are happy. These are real solutions. This is the importance of government is to listen to the people. We elect you there for a reason, not so you can sit there and tell us a bunch of bullshit and fly around on planes. Like right now, that just seems to be what the liberal agenda is. Let's see how much bullshit I can get away with before I get caught. And when I do get caught, I'm going to laugh it off and say, ha, 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 ha. But look at this. And meanwhile, nothing's been done. All these promises that were made, and not a single thing, very, very little. Like Sarah McCleary's been saying, you know, Miss Sarah McCleary, you know, she seems to have a good head on her shoulders and should be willing to listen. I'm just a little bit scared about this bill, you know, that wants to be passed, infringing on our freedom, on our religious freedom, on our freedom to believe what we want. Okay? So yeah, we're sure we don't want to be, yeah, we make hate a crime. Sure, do it. Yes. We don't want, you know, a lot of those organizations out there are not about perpetuating hate and perpetuating violence. A lot of those things that would sign that agreement, they're about spreading love and wisdom and health. Okay? And this legislation seems to be attacking one particular kind of religious group. Okay? And I'll say it, it's the ones that believe in Jesus, the Christians. Okay, because it seems every other belief out there, as long as you're this and that, oh, people have no problem believing in a God. But as soon as you mention his name, that's it. People shut you off. People say you're crazy. People want to deny you. People want to say this. But you know what? Who else in history changed the calendar? Why we have this calendar? Why do we have the dates that we have today? You know, Easter came from them. Easter changed the calendar, right? His life and his death and his rising to life again, because he's not dead, he's still alive. Okay, and his rising to life again. Well, that's the truth, people. That is the truth, because that's what happened. Historical documents, they tried to deny it. They wanted to say no, blah 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 blah. But you know what? They tried to stop prophecy from coming true. Oh, they never questioned the fact that he rose from the dead. These prophecies that Jesus fulfilled were written thousands and hundreds of years before he was even born. How could he orchestrate where he was going to be born? How could he orchestrate his family flying from Egypt? How could he orchestrate the king trying to kill all the people and the killing of the innocents and all that? How could he have done all of that? Well, I tell you how he did it. That's because God is his father. And he said, you know what? This is how it is going to be. This is my son in whom I am well pleased. And his spirit is there. And his spirit can be within you if you're brave enough to believe. What are you afraid of? Huh? Are you afraid? Bunch of scaredies? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of you. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to say that. All right. So I just want to say, you know what? We can change and heal this country. We can change and heal this nation. We can change and heal this continent. We can change and heal this world. If we are willing to listen to his word, if we were willing to listen to the creator of this world and what he wrote. You know, we're called right now, we are the millennial generation. Okay? Look it up. It's in the Bible. This was prophesied over almost 2,000 years ago. This was prophesied about this millennial generation that's happening right now. The youth are waking up. The youth are taking a stand. The youth are saying things. Right now we're in a crux. We're in a time where we can change. Either we change, either we do things, either we take a stand and really, really do things and really, really listen to what needs to be done, or we're all gonna die. Okay, there's not going to be no hope for the future. But me, I want to choose hope. I want to choose to believe that, you know what, we have leaders out there that can listen. I want to have faith in our leadership. Okay, I want us to have faith in what is going on. There needs to be accountability and transparency to where money goes, where's money spent. Because that isn't the government's money, that's ours. Okay, right? For the taxpayers. Okay, my husband has been a welder over here at SR plant for over 48 years. Okay, and he pays his taxes. He's a homeowner here in Sault Ste. Marie and pays property and land taxes. He's an urban native living this life here and struggling. You know, he struggles. It's not easy, and he chose to take me and my kids on and let us come here and love us and take care of us and help us. That's more to say than the natural father of my kids, right? This man here is more of a father to my kids than their natural father is. And that's okay. That's okay. I think that, family is who you have around you, who you have in your circle, who is there for you, who helps you, who will give you a word of encouragement when you need it, who will give you correction or tell you when you're acting silly or being ridiculous, right? That's what we need. That is family. So, and I think that, my husband has been working over here and doing this, living this life, paying his taxes, Indigenous person paying taxes. Yeah. People want to say Indigenous people don't pay taxes. Well, we do. Okay. We do pay taxes. We have to pay GST. And we pay income taxes, maybe not so much on the reserve, because the only reason why you have that on the reserve is so that we stay on the reserve and don't come off the reserve and cause a ruckus out here on this lands that really belong to us. So that's what I'm gonna say to you at this moment. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you hear me. That my name is Enrica Eshkibok, and I'm gonna try and go and speak even further. I just wanted to get these ideas out there, because I did speak over at the debate the other night and asked a question about, it was live on YouTube when I spoke over there and asked a question to the leaders over here. And today I spoke to Sarah McCleary I talked to her on the phone and just gave her an earful of my ideas. So, and I have these, they're the leaders over here, when they heard me speak that night, a lot of them came up to me afterwards asking me kind of things. And when I asked them the question, nobody really gave an answer. They say, yeah, I like your passion. But, we're not really sure how to do anything. Well, they say they want to reconcile the relationship with Indigenous people. Well, yeah, if you want to reconcile the relationship, if you really truly want to reconcile the relationship with the Indigenous people, then have them operate and lead in government like they should be. This is our lands. You came here and forced your economy, your system, your ways on us. Okay? You took our system of government, the democratic system, and perverted it. Okay? Really, Canada is supposed to be a socially democratic country. Okay? Why do we have, if we want to stop people from believing in religion and believing in God and believing in all of this, and we want to take God out of everything, then why do we pray to God in our national anthem? Why is that? Why do we pray to God in our national anthem? So, Indigenous peoples are spiritual people. We believe in what's going on, and we know this land. Creator drew us over here to be over here in this land, to take care of this part of the land. That's what we do. That was our purpose. Indigenous people know their purpose for a long time, that their purpose here was to take care and be stewards of this land. Well, we are waking up and taking back ownership and stewardship of the land that is here in North America, that belongs and that God gave the Indigenous peoples. We were here. And it is our God-given right to own this land, according to your legal system, because how the Queen done and dealt with Indigenous people was criminal and unethical, like I said. Okay? It was. So time to fess up and own up and let people govern, and let the people govern this nation like it should be. You know what? And stop talking about quantum blood levels. Like, really, grow up. Like, I have some Italian heritage in me. And I'm glad, you know what, that, that I can say I'm a spaghetti Indian. That's just my little joke, right? Because I love spaghetti, and I'm Indian, and I love my tacos, and I love my wild rice, and I like my potatoes and squash, and I love my corn soup, and I love my dry meats, and I love my cranberries, like fresh cranberries from the wild, and I love my apples, and I love all the food that this land has to offer. I love caribou. Oh, caribou is awesome. Bison, like really, So we are not gonna let our legislation, let our government starve us and oppress us and keep us down anymore. It's time for us to rise up, people, and be the strong, resilient, amazing, powerful leaders we are. Because there are many out there, Indigenous people, that are educated. There's doctors, lawyers, judges, there's professional coaches, social workers, all kinds of people that have gone to school and are educated. And there's even those out there like myself. I am very knowledgeable, and I have a lot of education and a lot of experience because I've been all over the place. I've been a lot of places. Yeah, and I want to go even more places. Okay, that would be nice. But right now, I just want to inspire and motivate our leaders to rise up and not be afraid anymore. Because we don't need to be afraid. What do we got to be afraid for? Huh? What are they gonna do? Kill us? They've already tried that. They've been trying for that for years. What happens when they tried to sterilize the Egyptians? They multiplied even more, even greater. So here we are. This is where we are now. Let's get a move on. Let's start. Let's rise up. Let's start. Let's raise up our leaderships. Let's vote for each other. Let's encourage each other. Let's help each other rise up and come together. And let's stop talking about and putting each other down. And let's get together and wake up and be together and be united. Because that's what we were created for. We were created to be united, to work together, to be together, and to live together. We're social beings. That's why we're here. We're here to live and to create, because a creator created us so we can create. We can create wonderful new ideas that can sustain and maintain this planet for millennia. Thank you. That's what I have to say. My name is Enrica Eshkibok, woman who rules with a green leaf. Thank you. Love you. Bye.